Hey everyone.
Hello, hello. I guess you found out who our special guest is 1 minute early, and now it's 6 sharp. Um, well, yeah, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Um, as you can see, we have Lukasz with us, and as you saw, he's the design director of Arcadia. And yeah, Lukasz, it's the first time we have you here on one of those. Maybe you wanna speak to the community and just tell them what you do.
Cool, sure. Guys, let me start with I'm looking at Discord almost daily to see the cool stuff in screenshots and the stamps, and what you guys are building is amazing. So it's really pushing us to build more and and stay a bit longer sometimes to just deliver new features. So who am I? I'm the Arcadia design director. I've been at Builder Rocket Boy for more than 7 years now, from the beginning. I've worked and still work on Mind's Eye, on EV and Arcadia. We are kind of in control of the implementation on the technical side and design side of how everything works in both everywhere and all the games that we're making on the Builder Rocket Boy. And right now, I'm specifically focused to deliver Arcadia experience and build new features for you guys. So yeah, I'll just hand it to you, Zaid, to continue.
Yeah, thank you, Lukasz. I'm just checking chat. Is maybe oh, audio is fine. I guess it's word cubes. Maybe sound is working. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Um, yeah, as Lukasz said. So now with the introductions set, let's get into it. So the format for this one is gonna be we're gonna talk about some things and just clarify a few things that we saw from you guys, um, and then we're gonna discuss a bit about the latest update, uh, Builder Beta Update 1, which was last week, and then we are gonna move into looking at some of the cool stamps and arcs and basically stamps that you have been building. And I'm out of focus again. Okay, here we go. And finally, we have some cool stuff from Lukasz and his team that they would like to show you. So first things first, let's talk about um, Gamescom. We dropped the message yesterday no, not yesterday, with Monday's announcement that we will not be at Gamescom on the show floor. So just to add a bit of context, uh, some of the team are there for meetings and on the business side of things. So unfortunately, this time around, we are not there on the floor. But this is only this year, right? There's always Gamescom next year and other events that we can always take part of. Um, not Gamescom when, Lester. The other thing is, a lot of you were asking us about Builders Beta and maybe that it is going to end, and there were some maybe confusion about, oh, when is it ending? Like, do we have time to build and get familiar with the tool? So to clear it for everyone, there is no planned end date for Builders Beta. We'll continue to with our programming, so you can expect the same 3 weeks view ahead. And yeah, we teased this week that we'll have a game jam starting beginning of September, so we'll add with more details as we get closer to it, and just continue with our programming. And hopefully that clears it up, and there's less worries about Builders Beta ending. Do I have sound? Do I have latency? Oh, I don't know how to adjust
That's all good.
that. Um, I mean, if it's not too bad for you guys, or is it like, okay, we'll sort it for the next one, I promise. Okay, now moving to the one of the main things that we love about um, having you all as part of our community is I just want to add that like all the feedback that you send us and share with us, whether it's on Discord, whether it's in game, whether when some of us join the Discord voice chat randomly in the evening and have a casual chat with you all, it's what it's all goes back to the team. It goes into the ingestion process we have and eventually make it into the game. Um, there might be, sorry, I'm looking at chat. Am I frozen? Um, oh, it might be a single person issue. Sorry about that. Going back to the importance of the feedback you all are giving us and helping us with the direction moving forward. So just want to take this chance to tell you to please continue giving us all that feedback. It doesn't matter how you choose to deliver it. Uh, we're gonna look at it, read it, and send it back to the team so they can ingest it into their roadmaps and make sure we are always delivering on what you all want. This is a nice entry point, Lukasz, to talk a bit about that we're still in a beta phase, right? And maybe just maybe we can touch on the purpose, and basically we want to push the limits together with our community from this point. So maybe you can add a bit on that.
Yeah, so I think I would like to add that from June, we're effectively working in a mode where we're building everywhere in Arcadia together with you, right? We're not only building an ecosystem environment and a platform, if you will, of the games and our own game and our own vision, but we're helping to build vision of every game that you would like to make. And we can only improve Arcadia through the feedback of what you're actually going to do and what you're trying to build. And then you feed that back to us and let us know, hey, I need this. I need outliner. And we take that feedback and it kind of helps us to adjust our roadmaps in a way where we justify the road we're going, where we have like opinions which way to go. We would listen to you and get your feedback to make sure that we're aligned with something that helps you to build exactly what you would like to build. And we look at what you're building. So from this moment on, I would like for everyone to really understand that we're building this game together. And we really, really mean it. I feel like whenever I read feedback off of Discord from your own chats, or when I see your discussions about some cool features, or maybe the way you're building something, I feel like, yes, they've spotted that. And how awesome that we're actually working on that for the next update, and that you're actually expressing the same needs as what we're actually building on. So for us, it's like justification that we're moving on the right path, and we are really listening to you guys. So hopefully over time we can show you guys, and I think that this is the first step of us being a bit more open about the future and the future updates that are coming.
Yeah, thank you, Lukasz. You put it always in better words than I try to put when I'm talking to the community. So thank you for the input from your side. Um, I think it's also a good entry point to talk about like with the last update. We sort of saw some maybe unintended changes, maybe some bugs that impacted some of the way the light is working in some like published arcs, and yeah, maybe we can.
If you want as well, if you want, Zaid, because like we discussed that, right? A bunch of creations from you guys were affected by a new change, and we need to understand that we're in a beta phase in which we would still be adding new functionalities to Arcadia or new default settings. And for example, you might have been building up high in the sky, like an awesome castle that happens to be at the elevation where we are just introducing clouds. And your arc never had a setting to whether you would like to have clouds on or not, right? So you get an update, you get new clouds, and suddenly those clouds are enabled by default. And now we have to go into the arc settings to disable the clouds or change different settings to bring back that exact feeling that you want for your arc. So if anything, sometimes it will be hit or miss, but in most cases, we'd like to offer you extra settings to have even more flexibility and even more freedom to create the theme and space of exactly the vision of a game or space that you would like to create. And I think over the next, years, we would just be ongoingly adding more features to extend the possibilities of what you can modify.
Yeah, no, that's very insightful, and I hope it kind of addresses some of the pain points. Yeah, I mean, as Lukasz put it, it's at the end of the day, it's about giving extra flexibility on the long run. So during this time, until we reach the long run stage, we might encounter some, after some updates, there might be some things that happen similar to this. But I mean, just when we took it back to the team, just uh, their swiftness and their attention to it, everyone was just like, okay, what's going on? Tell us. And basically, how it was explained to us is like, okay, let's um, let's see how it's gonna move forward with everything that is coming, so that it's always working at the end of the day, like Lukasz explained it. So that is very, very awesome. And yeah, I'm just checking if there were any maybe points from. Oh, Lukasz also suffered from the fog, so I think this is the beauty when, or the unique place we're in, where we we truly use the tools in very similar ways to our community, right, Lukasz? And it's funny, when we brought that issue back to the team, I heard from other teams from content design, they were like, "Oh, what happened to these arcs? Did we change this? Oh, unintended. Okay, let's move it forward." So
Yeah, Zaid, by the way, Nestor is saying that he finds it impossible to create dark spaces. We're gonna show something about that at the end.
oh, no spoilers, but yeah, stick to the end, Nestor, and I think you will not be disappointed. Uh, so, okay, the latest update, right? It was the first update, which wasn't a hotfix, and it was still focused on ironing out some bugs and issues that were making the experience a bit not as intended, and maybe not as smooth in some areas. But it also brought some big steps forward towards some important systems that eventually will become very big in Arcadia and will enable so many features as a whole system. One of them, of course, is the credit system on stamps and then on arcs. And I'm gonna hand over to the expert again to speak a bit about the importance of credits, because we did touch upon it on the credit system article, and then with the update dedicated article piece as well. But maybe, Lukasz, we can have a bit more like an explanation for it on like how big and important this system is.
Yes. So we rolled out the credit system in the recent update, right? And right now we have to really make sure that it works well. So this is all in lineup to the future, in which you're going to be able to monetize your arcs and monetize your gameplay items. So in a way, for us, it's quite huge because it all ties into a unique monetization model that would incentivize collaboration and creation together rather than competing with each other and creating from scratch. We want to create an economy where you can create something and it doesn't really matter if it's your own unique piece or if you're contributing to something else, if you're remixing other stamps to create something new. You're all going to be contributed in an equal way that is fair, transparent, and just visible. And no matter what you create, whether your creation contributes to something else or you offer something unique, it will be all the same. And everyone will just work towards collaborating together because it will just make sense. And for that, to work well, we really have to make sure that every contribution is recorded, every stamp is recorded, and every piece of UGC content built, lands itself on credits along with your name. So that's something that we really have to polish to make sure that it's super solid and watertight. So for the next few months, it will be one of the major focuses to be able to make that, because through the next updates that will kind of hint to you and show you some of it, you'll realize that will give you a potential to create not only items but also systems, and you might find yourself actually making a choice, or trying to think, do I want to create an arc? Do I want to make items? Or maybe I want to make houses, right? And you might not be very much into building with logic, and that's okay. Someone else will, right? Or you might want to create big environments. And we want to make sure that everyone can contribute to creation of someone else. And all of that kind of will work together. And it's a bit difficult to talk around the topic without being very explicit. But for that, I'll need Sergey's help with the economy side. So I'm trying to explain as best as I can without going into too much of the core detail, but you get the idea.
Yeah, I think that's well put, Lukasz, and I know a lot of our community will have a lot of questions. But whenever we approach similar to like how the credit systems when it was when it was introduced, we touched upon it. We explained the importance, so you can expect similar things whenever a big system is being released. So we will have proper explanation, and maybe we can do even a session like these and bring the experts so they can speak to you directly. Oh, actually, Lucas, there's a good question I think we can answer from Luigi, and which is, what do the numbers mean next to, when you look at an arc and you see the credits, and you see, for example, Luigi, then 44.
Right. So at the moment, in our existing product right now, it means the number of unique stamp contributions within that UGC content. So if you have an arc and there's Luigi with 100, that means that that creator have used 100 unique stamps from your Luigi. So that's quite impressive. And the number of credits will always list in order of biggest contributor. But also you have to know that as long as you contribute a single thing, you will be credited equally for towards the creation of that new piece of UGC content. So the amounts really are just to give us an extra incentive to feel nice how much we have contributed. But as long as you contribute with a single thing, you're already being listed in credits, and our economy will make sure that you're credited fairly and equally.
Yeah, no, that's and to be fair, what I wanted to say is we always like work like you always look at the whenever you finish a game, you're excited about seeing the credits, right? And just the idea of UGC having its own credits as well, I think that's personally, I think it's very cool, and I might sound biased because I do work on this game, but I do like it, and even from the outside, I would still enjoy it. So that was really cool when I learned that we will be doing it like that. Um,
So what I like about credits, Zaid, is not just credits, but the new upcoming update, which is the stamps used, right? And the stamps used will be a way for you to almost infinitely dig into what was created within to achieve that huge content. And then you might decide maybe you don't want to favorite the whole castle that you found from the public search. Maybe you just want to dig deeper and find out this specific lamp or that specific interaction or trapdoor. So we can always explore and inspect different UGC content, and as a builder, uh, favorite exactly the things that you're liking to use, and through that find more content as well.
yeah, I mean, you did touch just now on the stamps used, and as you explained it, but is it going to be like you can see all the creators or the stamp, like all the creations of that specific creator through it, or maybe I'm confusing different features?
So a feature for going into your player profile and seeing the arcs that you have created, published, and the stamps that you have published will be something that will also come a bit later. But it's a bit separated. So the contents of that published UGC content is one thing, and then what that creator has published will be a bit of another thing. But yeah, both of those things will come in time.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm just checking because chat seems to have gone down the stamps and numbers rabbit hole. Oh, there we go. Lukasz gave the answer. Very nice. Um, and again, going back to stamps, and we do talk a lot about stamps. They are they are the building blocks of everywhere, right, Lukasz? And everything comes down to a stamp. So I just want to move on to, because we also added a very nice feature with the latest update, which is the featured stamps. And I know you have big vision for how that can evolve. We can talk about that. I just wanted to tell our community that we're excited about this one, because similar to the featured arcs, we can sort of update them quickly and keep them fresh and exciting. So please share, make if you have made a stamp, just drop it on Discord. We'll try to find it in the game, but if you want us to spot it and never miss it, just drop it in Discord and link it under the arcs and stamps forum, and we'll make sure it gets the love it deserves. But yeah, Lukasz, going back to the whole featured stamp, new tile in the menus. Maybe we can, because we did chat about it today, and this is us going off topic. We haven't approved this topic to discuss,
Yeah.
but I think it's good to show our community maybe some of the discussions we have. So we were thinking of, okay, what we want to refresh them and add more a new list of stamps to the featured tile. But you had a very interesting idea. Maybe you can tell our community more about it.
You mean the idea about the featured stamps?
Yes.
Well, right now we kind of explored using that as on a rotating basis, something that we can just add to and replace what feature stamps are. But ideally, I would like to have a catalog of stamps that we as a community, together with you guys actually, not just us, but we together elevate the best stamps that we see. This is awesome. Let's elevate it to a group of stamps that are at a bit higher quality, because like we all know, we're going to be making tons and thousands of stamps. Not all of them will be at the right level to reach that featured level, and we need to have a segregation of public stamps, like a sea of randomness, because we all know that 95% of those things will be just random things. But then we also would like to have a catalog with a bit elevated stamps and even different categories like logic stamps, right? So we would like to be able to explore different ways of how to elevate accessibility to different stamps that you might want to search for. So it just becomes easier. Right now, there's like a ton of different problems with browsing stamps. So trust me, we're on it. And accessibility to stamps is something like just the most important things for us.
Yeah, thank you, Lukasz. Again, you put it in a very nice way, and hopefully we get to do that and experiment with our community again, like, because this stuff is eventually, as you said, we all are using it in to create, right? And at the end of the day, it's gonna be helpful for all of us. So I'm excited to see how that evolves. Um, I'm not sure. Did we want to go next to maybe some community stuff, or maybe I'm missing something?
Before we go to the community stuff, I'm seeing something that I see some people realize. People that play a bit more in arcade and everywhere, starting to connect the dots. And I'd like to give a hint that the best quality stamps will be used the most, and the systems and and stamps with logic will be extremely useful for the next stages of everywhere when we really have a lot of more builders after some marketing campaign, after the stages where we want to invite more people. Right now, we're a tiny bit undercover. We want to make sure that Arcadia and editor is at the best stage it can be, using the feedback from you guys and what we know we have to fix before we are able to or want to elevate our campaign to make sure that we become a bit more visible out there.
Mm.
And I think that we are at the perfect opportunity to explore different logic possibilities and what's possible in terms of making stamps. And all of you guys that are now exploring the boundaries of what's possible in stamps, you will become, the first waivers of some of the functionalities that others will use. And I think it's quite exciting to think about that you might become in credits of most of the content that will be created. So especially, stamp that is at a bit more higher quality. So, we see all of the content that you're posting online, and it's just wonderful. It really is pushing us to do that bit of an extra. So thank you so much.
Nice one, Lukasz. Yeah, it got a bit emotional in a way there at the end. uh, but truly, it's like I cannot express how, like, just be walking around the studio, right? Everyone truly cares about what you all are doing randomly. Like, I can't tell you how many times throughout the day I'm asked, oh, how's the community? How's the community? You know, and everyone at the studio, I know, and especially the person you all are thinking about. Yes, him as well. So just want to thank you, as always, for, you know, keeping the honest feedback and bringing it on to us again in any form that is available for you. It's all very insightful and very beneficial for everyone at Build a Rocket Boy. So we did talk a lot about stamps and about what the community is making, and we wanna look at some of those. Maybe Lukasz, what do you think?
Yeah, let's go. I think you have some arc prepped, right?
I tried to add oh, I tried to add stamps without breaking the performance impact score. Let's see how it goes. I should have
It was break.
the
Limits are to be broken.
I like how you put that one. Uh, Give me a minute. I had this setup ready to go, but I think
Like as you set up, I think I can answer some question that I found out from DC. I know, guys, that you would really benefit from being able to test your logic live. And I think right now you have a debugger available that is kind of in a text form that you can enable with a hash key when you're in play mode. But we do want to enable to be able to visualize logic in your test mode. But that's something that will have to come, I think, a bit later.
yeah, thank you, Lukasz, for covering that technical setup. I think we are ready to go. Um, all right, let's see. Share screen here, and then what this. Oh, I should have been in play mode already. That's on me. Oh, a little spoiler there. I wanted the stairs, the escalator to be loaded and ready to go. All right. Well, it's not exactly Monument Park, but uh, yeah, I just grabbed a bunch of stamps that we think they are super cool and just chuck them into one arc. And yeah, it's just like looking at the variety is just, it's super cool. Again, like we have some aesthetics over on this side. We have a little ants and bugs section, and of course, Sparky the cat made it. Uh, I am a big fan of a couple of these, especially this one. I think, oh, there's something actually. I think I may have broke it because it should say the name and of the weapon, I think, and it should say F to switch. Anyway, that might have been on me. Um, but the stamp works, and then you just hold F, and then you just buy weapons.
Yeah, this is really lovely. Like, if I can interject and say that I think this is an amazing step towards building even like a mini game. And I wonder if community would like to take on the challenge of trying to elevate it a bit further, right? What if you make like a claw machine that is an actual mini game? What if we can gamify it a bit more, add custom camera inside, see how far I can push it. And I think eventually this is like the baby step towards table games, mini games, tabletop games in a stamp form. And that will be quite exciting.
Yeah, I can see that big time. And then, yeah, let's grab some healing cubes uh, by Dry Coast. And then I just love this little fridge. Let's see if I can make this one. These are very brutal because if I recall, they are instant kill. Ooh, we made it. Then of course we have the when. And then this is fascinating because I've spoken to Lukasz so many times asking him, oh, how can I make something like this? And no matter how many times he explained it to me, I couldn't figure it out. I'm just glad you guys did. A turret that is gonna auto target you, right? As long as at the moment you enter the volume. Oops, this is not a crouch animation by any means. And yeah, I do want to show some of the cool stuff that I think Lukasz we see a lot of. It's like these little or mini. Sometimes it's a demonstration, right? Like someone would make a stamp like this one, demonstrating how something works, right? Like, oh, this is a camera that follows you. So even for I feel like little demos and maybe even like for tutorial purposes, like there is so much cool content and diverse content. And this one, for example, I mean, this counter can be used for anything, right? You can attach it to maybe when you kill an enemy, and then it adds like the killed enemy. Add 1 to it instead of 100, and then you just have set up a little custom mechanic with your own variables. So dry coast, it looks like, I mean, from this stamp. Oh, maybe it doesn't work all the time.
It's a feature. It's good.
Works as intended, I mean, every time. Upside down, exactly. And like even things like this, right? I didn't even know it existed until I saw it today. I was like, oh, like you could do so much cool stuff. And then the last thing I would want to highlight is, sorry, Wes, I hope I'm not spoiling your Wheel of Doom, but this stamp is literally like a mini game, right? You started from here. Oops, if I can make the jump, and then we already are in a mini game. We need to just keep jumping these. I was always dying when I tried to play this earlier. There we go. And yeah, as Lukasz said, just by also looking at what you guys are building and what connects with you, it's a big insight to the team to know, okay, this stuff is clicking with our community. This stuff is not clicking as we like it to. The Desert Worm works. I saw it was an experiment sort of in the description of the stamp, but yeah, exactly. Mike, it was yours. Yeah, it's very cool. So Lukasz, we look a lot at what our community is working on and making. Are there maybe some things that your team is working on that we want to look at?
Well, before we look at something that we prepped in terms of like a small snippet of a sneak peek of something that is in progress right now, I would like to maybe cover those three or four major features that we're working on right now. Zaid, what do you think? Should we cover them right now?
Yes,
So,
let's go.
yeah, I would like to let you guys know what we're working on because like we realized the shortcoming of at the moment of what you're trying to build and at the moment what you don't have. We really know. So we wanted to give you a bit of anticipation of the features that are coming so we can build with that in mind, right? And the main key thing that you'll realize soon that you need an arc that can give players items. You need to be able to make game items. And I would like to give you an option for you to not only save as a stamp, but save as a game item. And I would like you to have a possibility to make game items that contain logic. I would like you to be able to spawn them with logic so we can create anything that we would like. And not only that, but for those items that then the players collect to persist across your arcs that you have. Or maybe the players that you join with to build something else. So there's multiple ways this will go and evolve, but I think this will be like the key driving force of the creativity to be able to make not only stamps for building with,
Mm.
but gameplay items for your own games. So that's one big thing. With that, you might get some logic nodes that you would expect to award, query, and consume logic nodes. So you can make crafting tables, you can make games with resource gathering. And I think those are the games that we have to make because it's going to be awesome. Right? So that's one thing. Another thing is custom UI. You really need to be able to make custom UI, right? Because what's a game without a custom UI? You need to be able to create a custom UI interface for whatever you want to do, whether it's a small panel with items that you collect in your game, or a quest system, or maybe inventory that you just want to create the way you want to do it. The custom UI system will work with gameplay items. So that's all coming together, and you can expect logic nodes together with it. Now, gameplay items logic nodes and custom UI logic nodes will be able to work in a form of a stamp. So you might as well just create a custom UI system and publish it for others to use. So that will be quite interesting how that all comes together. Uh, Another big feature that we would like to work on is something that we would like to address with logic. I love seeing you guys creating complex logic combinations, but it also pains me to see the sea of logic in your arc, with hundreds of logic. And I even saw the feedback that you're saying that, hey, this logic, this stamp is amazing, but it's so complicated for me to read through it. I don't know what's happening, so I'm just going to do it from scratch. We would like to fix that. And the way we would like to fix it, now even better, Nestor, even better. What we'll do is give you an ability to create a macro node. Imagine you'll be able to select any number of logic nodes and create your own unique logic node out of combination of those logic nodes. So in a way, you'll be able to create your own logic node, describe it the way you want, make inputs and outputs the way you want to make them, and even publish them for others to use. So I think that's big, and we will give you more info on those things when we are ready to show you an example. And I think that's it for the big topics. Zaid, I think that we give the community enough of a hint of where this is going.
Yeah, I mean, each one of the features that you spoke about is one of them alone, I feel, is gonna open up so many doors for our community. I mean, from the creativity we already see, I'm just imagining like one of them, and then the explosion of stamps that we're gonna see from it. So, if these three, I'm not saying it is the case, but if these three come in one update, that's gonna be juicy. Uh, I guess we can maybe. Well, it's always been I like to go back to the basics. It's always been the way we since we went to Gamescom and Adam Whiting was on stage. He said we'd rather show and not tell. While these things that Lukasz spoke about were us talking to you, we do have a bunch of other stuff that is better to show, right, Lukasz, than do a voiceover. What do you think? Good to go?
Of the video?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I was just looking at some of the chat. Yeah, let's go. And I'm gonna cover the work in progress. So what you're gonna see, guys, is some other type of work, of other areas of work that we would like to improve, other features that we would like to improve, beside the big hitters that I just mentioned. Something that is at the prototype stage of something that we can actually show a bit more. So the videos that you're gonna see are directly from Dev, from the editor.
And with that intro, so this will not have any audio, the video, so don't worry if you're not hearing any audio come through. Lukasz might give you a bit of input on things if he'd like to, but we're gonna. Oh, let me
Oh,
actually.
I had an amazing music, but legal told us that we would get sued. So, oh man, tough.
I know, but we do love our legal team.
Of course, I'm just making a joke here.
No, I get it. Of course. And all right, I think I am sharing, should be good. And all right, Lukasz, I'm gonna play it and just jump in whenever you feel like it. And yeah.
Yeah, sure. We can just play it, and I will cover some of those updates. So, guys, what we're trying to improve recently is something that we believe as a core needs to be way more fun, and it's physics. We want to be able to equip you with logic nodes to just do anything in terms of physics and make it way more fun and playful. And that includes applying physics to anything, setting a specific visible gravity to items, and influencing how things behave based on other physical impulses. So you can make a lot of playful experiences by just playing around with physics, making chains and making things move the way you would just expect. And I think that creates a lot of playful opportunities to make just simple games and prototypes that are quite fun. Maybe you can play with it, right? You can rely on the physics to have the reaction that you would expect. So you can just create something and it's just fun, right? And by the way, all of that is thanks to Bertie. He was prototyping some of those things the other day and recorded some of those things. By the way, that's him standing on the chain with a guy, giving us all those videos. And we really want to make sure that you can create not only physics with individual items, but physics applied on stamps, physics applied within the components of stamps. Because then that opens a lot of opportunities, right? We can already see from what we're testing with. You can make a lot of funky, weird stuff that is just fun. And honestly, we have so much fun, testing those things. Some of the things work in unexpected ways, and that's why it's not ready for you guys. But once we do nail it, and once we have it in the right state, then it will really be fun. And I hope that we can create you a different set of tools so you can just make anything that you can think of. If you want to make tiny choppers that you have to race with your friends, over the course of whatever is your map, then you can, right? And it should be just simple and fun. So yeah, I love this prototype from Bertie. So yeah, as you can see, another update is move and rotate nodes did not affect the camera. Well, we've changed that. We've fixed that. So now you'll be able to make move and rotate affect the camera. And this will also work on affecting an object that the camera is connected to. So, that really opens up a lot of opportunities to be able to create custom camera sequences and, movement will also work with different interpolation modes. And at later updates, we would also support moving along the path. And now for the request to make something very dark. We're improving the amount of tools and features for how you can make anything in terms of the theme and darkness. So, get ready to get spooky. We will allow you to make your arc have no lighting, and then you can really control more options into the lighting on your scene inside of an arc. And I think that's it for now.
Yeah, I mean, wow, that was every time I see that, and I'm like, whew. Uh, well, thank you, Lukasz, and thank you to the team, and for being here and for you know sharing a bit more context on what's cooking behind the scene. And I think it's very important. And as we all always discuss it, right? We're always like, oh, we need to let our community know so they can plan what they're working on. So hopefully all this stuff can give you a better idea of where we're moving forward and what are some of the big stuff that is coming and some of the focus on the physics and the kind of experiences we want you to be able to create as we continue to uh, you know push the limits together and see where we end up with Arcadia and with you all and what kind of stamps we'll end up creating in a few months. Who knows? But surely it's gonna. I couldn't. I broke character looking at chat. Uh, but yeah, now we are gonna get like the when back, and I think that's a healthy community signal. When our community is telling us when, I take it as a healthy signal from the community. So,
Okay.
um,
And right now it will be when for those set of features, and after we have them, we'll have another and another, and that's great. I think working on this project for so many years right now with the team, it's amazing. It's so fun, right? And we're at the step, at the moment in time when we can actually start to build experiences that are playful and fun. And I think many projects, whether it's a stamp or an arc, will be a longer journey, especially if you have like a very strong ambition to make a game or a stamp that can actually be useful in many different projects, or you actually really wish to make this be your full-time job. And honestly, I wish that will be my full-time job in the future. I want to make arcs, I want to make games in the future inside of the Arcadia. And I think that some of the projects will just take time. And with the builders community, we'll have to help you build the games and features that you need to make your games and projects be successful. And often it will be building a little bit until the moment in time in the future where all the pieces of the puzzle connect and align, and we have amazing games. And because we are in this beta phase, we're at the point in time where we're discovering how to improve things together. But I think once we do end up there, it will be really awesome.
well, there you have it. If you see Lukasz publishing arcs in the game, you know why your features are delayed. Because he's making games. Uh, well, I think that's all we had for this one. Hopefully, we'll continue to do these and bring you um, more info on what Lukasz and the team are working on, and just give these updates and just make sure we're all because we're always a community driven platform, right? And the right way to do that, we believe, is to have constant um, exchange of information both ways, right? It goes both ways, and it's as important as you all are giving us your input on how the tool works and what you like and what you don't like. Um, it's also on us to tell you what is cooking and what is coming, and maybe in some cases what is not coming. Who knows? But always, I think you can expect from us same level of communication, and hopefully hopefully this stuff is exciting. It was very exciting for us to do this one, and yeah, if you enjoyed it and if you found it useful, we'll just continue doing more of this stuff. So thank you all. Thank you for making the time, and yeah, we'll speak to you later at some point. I'm pretty sure of that. And one more time, thank you, Lukasz, for making the time and for sharing all the awesome stuff that you and the team are working on, and to have that input from your point of view directly to our builders and our community.
No worries, anytime. Thank you so much, guys. It's really lovely. Like, I should thank you guys for building what you're building, because it's really awesome, and it will be our journey together. So thank you so much again.
All right. Thanks all. Take care, and we'll see you soon in the next one as well.
See you guys.
Bye.